morning and bringing you guys in here. It won't be a very long video today. I have to get to work today and I have other things I got to do, but I thought I'd at least bring you in as I usually do to make the hydrogen smoothie. So let's just go ahead and get started. As you know, I always start with my nutrient powder, not to be confused with a protein powder, but a nutrient powder. Why? Because our food is deficient. And that's the one thing I don't want to be, is deficient. That's part of my goal, is to overcome nutritional deficiencies. Good morning, everybody. So that's why I always start with the powders. The one I like to use is Purium from iShopPurium.com. You can actually get it really cheap if you use the coupon code Uprising144K from iShopPurium.com, because they give you $50 off. And that's actually a pretty good discount. Some companies only give you, it just depends on the company. Some companies only give you little discounts. This one gives you a pretty big one. Then I have some leftover raw meal, which I'm just going to use up. No longer my favorite because of some lab tests I saw, and I'm always, staying up to date on everything. And look, it's not that it's a terrible product. It's just that it has more pesticides in it, even though it's organic. And it's not like, again, it's not like I just, totally dislike it. I know that there's going to be pesticides and stuff. It's hard to get away from all that stuff these days. But if I could find something better, as you guys probably well know, I always want the best. So that's what I'm going with. And then chlorella, which I just have leftovers, and I'm going to use it up. And it's actually really good stuff, but with the new Purium stuff, I don't think I'll need it anymore. So I'll be just minimizing what I'm using. Now, can you guys hear me, by the way? If you guys can make a comment there below, let me know if my ear pod is synced up with the video. Make sure just comment and let me know that it's working. And next, I'm gonna go with the greens. So let's go with greens today. I feel like I was telling you guys a story yesterday. I don't know, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, or say yes, I can hear you good. I was telling a story last time about the way that, the difference between the way that fruits and vegetables affect the gut as compared to other products like meat and eggs and even seafood. And I eat those things, but just not nearly as much as I used to. And the gut flora is well, it's one of the big reasons why, but it's not the only reason. But life is all about balance, and whoops, I feel like I just dropped, there it is, I got it. If something doesn't look extremely clean and fresh to me, I will not put it in here. So once in a while, these salads have little bad spots. And this is a trick to getting enough vegetables. So, oh yeah, can you guys hear me? Someone comment if you can hear me. Otherwise, maybe I'm just talking, and if you guys can't hear me, then I rather just, normally I'm in silence when I'm doing the smoothie thing. But I've been putting on the camera for you guys because I just was hoping that, as people have been saying, that this is kind of inspiring them to do these healthier morning routines. And somebody was commenting the other day of how good they're feeling by doing these. Oops, there we go. See, these are definitely need to be washed. Let's go ahead and wash some of these. And hopefully this is just helping people, whether it's to get inspired, to learn how to do it. Because, I'm not a chef. I'm not like some special, cook guru or anything like that. That's the funny thing about me, is that I was not a health guru. I'm not a chef. None of these things. And yet, I knew I had to figure out a way to be healthier. I'm like, I got to figure this out. And the blender and the smoothies is what really opened up a whole new world to me, because now I'm like, look, I can do this. And it's not super hard, and it's just not that difficult, which is Nice. And then if you kind of get in the rhythm of it, which I obviously have, it's actually sometimes it's kind of weird to say that it's therapeutic. I just kind of, hi, my love. Yes, I can hear you, says Aurora. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. I'm glad you can hear. All right, because I had this earpiece and I wasn't sure. Okay, let's see here. What's next? What's next? What are we going to do today? Let's go with some ginger. And then I'll bring the chia seeds. Oh, look at that. I still have a little bit of smoothie. And I just realized I got a bunch of enzymes in there I've been wanting to take. I'm going to take those actually right now. I like to take them on an empty stomach. And mostly just because I have them left over, guys. I mean, these are not particularly, yeah, I just taken some leftover stuff. I'm trying to finish all these supplements and different things that I have that I'm no longer going to be taking. But it doesn't mean that I will just stop. I'll keep taking care of myself. It's just that there's a lot of, I'm narrowing down all the things that I really need. So, okay, we'll go with ginger next. Organic ginger. You know, why? Well, as we know, there are obviously a lot of health benefits to ginger. But one of them is that it really helps heat up the core body temperature, which is important for health. But fruits and vegetables in general, there's always something. I bet you they're probably anti-parasitic, and I say that because I was doing research on all the ingredients that I was using one time. This was a while back, probably as far as a year ago. And I found that the majority of the ingredients I'm using are anti-parasitic, and I was like, what? And so that's an interesting thing to note, is that fruits and vegetables appear to be basically way more anti-parasitic than things like meat, dairy, eggs, seafood. Those things do not seem to be at all anti-parasitic. And I'm really, really big about the parasite stuff because, well, for multiple reasons. One, the science is now there, but I was into it before the science was really showing anything in regards to that. But the reason that I'm really big on keeping the body clean is because when I did this extreme cleanse, it was extremely difficult, extremely expensive. Took a lot of willpower and effort. It was rough. But when I did it, I ended up having a very, very strange experience, which maybe I don't really know if I should talk about it here, but I'm just going to say that it was a very, you could, darn it, you could probably call it downright spiritual experience because it really was. And I was kind of shocked. I'm like, why am I feeling this? What's going on here? And that was actually one of the moments that I realized because I reflected on that moment for, well, a long time. But throughout the first week of reflecting on that, probably the first 3 days, I'm like, what is going on? Because you just feel so fantastic and you just feel so, just the way you felt. And the person who told me about that cleanse um, told me about these feelings that you'd get. And I was kind of, if you know me, I am a skeptic. So I'm a hard guy to convince about stuff. And in this particular case, my experience is what really, really like, okay, this is real. And I realized how important it was to keep the body clean. And then when I say clean, I mean, why do you think I live the way that I do, and why I eat the way that I do and want to live this way? And part of it is obviously health. That's definitely a part of it. But the other aspect of it is the the joy, the happiness, the connectedness, even the spiritual aspect of it, which I don't talk about a lot because I know never want to talk about quote unquote religion and politics. And by the way, it's not religion in my mind what I'm talking about, but people attribute it to that. But anyway, the point is that it seemed like a very positive thing. And part of it was a lot of these bugs that came out of me, a lot of these parasites and worms and it just felt like it literally felt it was like the Matrix. It felt like something had been like unplugged out of my head, like unjacked out of my head. And all of a sudden I could like there was silence, there was peace. It always reminds me of those words that Jesus would always say. He'd always say, peace be with you. And I don't believe anywhere in scripture, and I've consulted with very knowledgeable people about the scriptures. And I don't think there's any place where Jesus literally ever said, God be with you. He always said, peace be with you. And when you felt that peace feeling like deep inside, it was, yeah, it was spiritual, but it was amazing feeling. It's probably one of my favorite emotions, actually. There's a lot of emotions, but I love when just being at an extreme peace, like the calm, you know, before the storm, maybe something like that. And so it was interesting. And so I began to really, really value my not only my peace, but the purity of the human body. And then that's when I began to really realize, as some people say, or actually not just people, the ancient scriptures say that that the body is the temple. And I'm like, well, probably want to keep it really, really clean. Everybody knows the blueberries are extremely good for your health, hence the reason that I'd use them. I don't like to put too many fruits in here, but with blueberries, I make an exception. And berries in general can be really good. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Thanks for all the positive feedback, though it was only Aurora with the feedback, but Aurora, thank you. Very lovely of you. And so yeah, so that's why but you know why I don't talk about it is because it seems to it makes everybody, it's weird. I think I always notice how people always leave when I'm talking about stuff like that. So that's why I don't talk about it. I'm just gonna like stick to the basics, which is, hey, let's show you how to make stuff. Now, raisins. I have been using raisins. Normally, I should be soaking them in water, especially hydrogen water, but I haven't been. I'm just using them because I had them left over. And so, and they have boron. I'm really into, well, look, I like a lot of things, but boron is something that I'm quite fascinated with. And so, yeah, so we're going to use raisins today. And you know, it does make it quite sweet, which is why we'll only be putting one banana in this today. Now let's put some hydrogen water in this as I'm filling it up, because otherwise it will not blend quite right. So I put water in as we go. And the one big thing that I do is I put the water before the chia seeds. The chia seeds that are soaked in water are plump with water and they're fantastic. But the problem is that when I try to pour water when the chia seeds have been in here, the water won't go through and then it won't blend right. So that's why I do it in a specific order. Just know that the order in which I'm doing it is actually important. And don't think that the order doesn't matter. It definitely matters. It will not blend. If anybody wants to comment below, oh no, that sucks. I'm almost out of celery. I gotta go buy celery again. Boy, I'm really going through the produce here. That's a good thing. Okay, I got some leftover cucumbers and carrots from dinner yesterday, so I'm gonna throw those in there. I always do stuff like that too. Little leftovers. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw in. Walnuts have a lot of amazing, great health benefits, and I did normally like to soak them in water. See, I like everything to have water in there, and I didn't soak the raisins and I didn't soak the walnuts because walnuts, if you've ever seen the research on it, there was research done on cancer. And they were like, well, what is it so special about the walnut that seems to be anti-cancerous? Not to mention all the protein and good fats and just nutrients in general. I mean, I could go on the list here, you know, all the good calcium and potassium, and obviously it has even dietary fiber within the walnut, but it's anti-cancerous. So they did a study and they were like, hey, why don't we see what part of the walnut is so magical? So they did, that makes it a little creamier and a little richer. They were saying things like, let's try the walnut oil, and they did, and the walnut oil didn't work. And then they tried some other part of the walnut. I think it was the skins or something, and it also didn't work. And they're like, what? Why isn't it working? And then they tried the whole walnut, and it worked. And so, like I said, I'm really into the whole foods. You want the whole food. It seems to be, the science seems to support that. And that's why I do it. And it just seems to make, I don't know, it makes sense. But that's also why we do, why we need scientific testing sometimes. Oh boy, is this frozen? It was frozen last night. That's why I couldn't use it. And it was kind of open. So I was using the one that was open. And so now we're going to put natto. Natto is one of those ingredients that is, I would say, secret ingredient, but not so secret. Natto is, I need a little towel in my pocket. Here we go. There we go. That's what I needed. I need chopsticks. We need to activate the natto. Natto, in my opinion, from what I hear, is one of the #1 superfoods in all of Japan. They've done so many scientific studies. You stir it up to activate it. Come on and stir it up, little darling. Stir it up. Okay, bonus points to anybody who can figure out who sings that song. Stir it up will activate the natto. You can literally see it getting foamy. You can see it getting activated. Why natto? Guys, there is some magical stuff, which, oh, somebody said it. Bob Marley, you're right. Oh, Bobby, how I miss you, my brother. Oh, man, I love Bob Marley. He, in my opinion, was, I actually think they killed him personally. I don't think that was an accident. I hate to say that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the more I learn, that guy, they shot that guy trying to kill him, and he still went on stage with a bullet in him and did a whole concert. Can you believe that? That guy was next level. Let me tell you something. If you don't know the story of Bob Marley, I love that guy. Such a good guy. He would say things like, I don't lock my car, man. Like, he wouldn't lock his car because he's like, it just shows that you don't trust people. And I'm thinking, well, brother, that's cool, but you can't trust people these days. They'll just go in there and grab your stuff. What a beautiful heart, He's like, hey, I'm going to show people I trust them. But no, I always loved that guy. He left a lot of kids behind, so that's good. Spread the genes. But he died way too young. He was awakening too many people, as somebody just commented. And yeah, I think he was actually he actually was singing music about things, corruption and things going on within government. And I think those are the guys who really shot him. And then he eventually brought two parties together, basically. And he threw a concert, guys. He threw a concert on his own dime. Everybody got to come in for free. You can YouTube it. The Zimbabwe. Oh my gosh, it was so epic. That concert was unreal. And then they were shooting tear gas. This guy was he was still singing. Everybody was like, gosh, we couldn't even open our eyes, let alone sing. And he claimed that he would get in these trances and he would just have almost like supernatural power, no joke. And people were hypnotized by him, but he had such a good message. If you listen to his music today and you can understand the lyrics, because he's got to really have strong Jamaican accent, and if you can hear what he was actually saying, he really had some very powerful words, powerful message. And there was a guy, in my opinion, who you couldn't buy that guy. He was uncorruptible, and those are my favorite people. The ones who cannot be corrupted, that love too much. You love people too much that you will never allow yourself to be corrupted. Sorry, but I'll tell you one thing. I've seen so much corruption, even of the kindest people. It's pretty sad. I'm not going to drop any names because some of these names, I know they're people out there who you guys know, and they're actually pretty famous even in the health world. And it just saddens me to the core because it's like, come on, guys, you're supposed to be doing good things for people, and you're definitely not. So that was a tough blow for me when I found some of this stuff out. I've really discovered a lot since I've been doing this YouTube channel because of some interesting connections that you make. Okay, bananas next after the natto. I love banana natto. I don't know what it is about it, but they go well together. All soaking in some hydrogen. There we go. All right, what's next? We're getting to the end here. Let's go celery next. Let's see, did somebody comment something? Yeah, seeking and being. All right, guys, what is next? Let's go with celery. But yes, I always love Bobby. I mean, you could say some negative things, but you know, nobody's perfect. Some people could judge him for all sorts of stuff, but he did end up getting cancer, by the way. And that I wish, tell you one thing, I wish he would have known me and I was alive and I did not know what I know now, of course. But I wish there was no way I could have even got a hold of him anyway, because he was probably too famous and I was a nobody. Still am, which I prefer it that way. I prefer nobody to know. I'd rather just go and be in solitude, which is what I will be doing in the near future. So who knows what will happen with the YouTube channel. But this is all temporary, guys. All temporary. But yeah, it was too bad because I think that potentially his issue could have been fixed. But I did find out, I mean, it's very possible that, if they created his illness through some strange way, those might be the hardest ones to fix. Because I won't give any names or anything, but there is somebody that I know who's dealing with something kind of similar, and it's interesting because they were doing one of my protocols. Now, granted, they weren't doing the whole thing, so maybe that would make a difference, but they were doing a lot of it, and every single tumor shrunk or even disappeared except for one. There's this one tumor that's just reacting differently than all the others, and that's making me suspicious. Because why would all of them shrink except for this one? And there's just something going on with it. And I don't know. It makes me suspicious, but I won't get too much into that. Let's see. Barely enough celery for tomorrow. I better go get some today. That's all I got to say about that. So I guess I'll save them. I really did want to put one more celery in there. I could go downstairs and check, but I'm pretty sure I'm out. Okay, now I'm going to go with the chia seeds. He was actually an amazing football soccer player. Yes, that is correct. Cancer in his big toe, that is also correct. So seeking and being, he definitely knows Bobby. I loved Bobby. Yeah, man. Smoked a lot. I think he smoked a little too much. But that's fine. If it worked for him, it's all good. But I mean, there is some data. I mean, it's probably not super good to smoke the herb, man. A little too much. But you know what? It's all good. I'd still love him anyway. I don't care. I'm not going to judge him for smoking herb. Give me a break. Too much judgment these days. Yeah. But you just got to love the people for who they are. Too much judgment going on. Too much silliness going on. That's what I got to say. Just too much silliness. What's wrong with people? Makes me sad. But you know what? It's to be expected. That's my opinion. I think that this all has to happen somehow. And I don't even like that, but sometimes that's just, just like me. It's a really sad part of my story is that I had to go through so much ridiculous pain and suffering and confusion because it started when I went through a lot of things when I was a really young child. And all those things have led to a lot of things that I've been able to learn, which I did want to learn. There's a lot of things that I wanted. I just didn't realize that, of course, when I was really young. But as I got older, there was things specifically that I wanted to know. And I realized that without going through everything that I went through, I don't know if I would have learned them. I really don't know. I can't say that I would. I can't say that I wouldn't. But I definitely wouldn't have learned about this whole health thing. I'll tell you that much. This is not a direction that I really wanted to go. I just was like a lot of young people. You think, I won't be the one to get sick. But I'll tell you one thing. When you start looking at statistics, let me tell you something. It's almost impossible that you won't get sick or that something won't happen to you. It's darn right almost impossible. So, it's let's see, acrylentigenous melanoma. Oh, yeah, his toe cancer. Yep, which was They said it was the white part of him, Bob Marley, because he was a half cat. He was a mix, and people from Jamaica didn't really get melanoma. White people did, though. Tell you some scientific, interesting stuff about not just melanoma, really, but more about melanin and how the sun affects our skin as compared to when your skin is darker. It's really fascinating, and how long it takes for you to get your body to produce vitamin D when you have a lot of melanin in your skin, and all of it's very fascinating. This is why I like science. I like to learn these facts, and that's what I've utilized. Not just those facts. I look at things from many perspectives. I always want to see everybody's perspective, by the way. And it just, I don't know why, but that's what I like to do. I feel like it gets me closer to the answer and that I seek. And what I can tell you is that's how I've created a lot of my protocols. They're based on a lot of data, things that make sense. Look at this. I'm talking to you guys and there's like nobody here. Oh wait, there's 7 of you. Okay, so there's somebody in here. But yep, this has never been the most popular channel, and that's okay. It's probably just going to disappear and nobody will notice. That's okay too. It doesn't bother me. It was just too bad that I couldn't get the word out more. I really tried. I tried to let people know how they can help themselves. I mean, I was just watching a thing where they were talking about it's not just sad, it's downright sickening. But there was this whole report on, well, I guess I don't need to go where it was, but it was on YouTube about childhood obesity and how they want to start literally injecting these kids with a medicine that they would have to take for life. The moment you start them on this, they say that's it. It's for life. And they were talking about obesity being something genetic. I'm like, are you guys insane here? I'll tell you what, anybody who's obese gets on my protocol, you ain't gonna be obese no more. The problem is that they don't like my protocol, and that's fine. But I get it. They don't want to be on fruits and vegetables and whatever. But they want to take these drugs, and these drugs, I can't imagine putting a 12-year-old. They're saying anybody from 12 years old and above. And I actually looked at how this particular drug worked, and it has to do with affecting the pancreas and insulin. And of course, the first thought that came to my mind is if you're going to cause the pancreas to produce more insulin, aren't you going to be straining the pancreas, which in my opinion, won't that cause inflammation, and won't that cause the pancreas to stop working? And so I looked up the side effects, sure enough. And then if you get off of it, oh my Lord, even worse. You can die. You can have a heart attack, a stroke, all these weird, crazy side effects. Okay, a little bit more hydrogen water, and then we'll start putting some of the magic ingredients in here. And I was just like, this is crazy. And of course, on the show I was watching, they were like, well, it's by design, right? And I've always thought that. I've always thought, why are they? I don't even know why people don't realize that they shouldn't be buying soda pop. I mean, you know what? Somebody be honest in the comments. Somebody tell me, do you buy soda pop and drink it? I mean, there's only 5 of you in here, so shoot. Nobody cares about this. Clearly, nobody cares about a smoothie like this. Oh, wait, there's 7 of you, but nobody's going to care about a smoothie like this because let me just say very few people will care. Okay, now we're putting minerals in, guys. Minerals are crucial, important, how the body works. And I'm adding in there with hydrogen, with the super clean water. And we already have tons of minerals in here, but it's just going to work together with the fibers. It was not only my theory, but it's basically a fact now. I saw there's a study that they did on it, and it was actually building people's bones. Okay, it's going to be noisy. Let's see what happens. So yeah, let's fatten them up. It reminds me of what's that story? The kids in the candy house or whatever, and let's fatten these kids up so that we can get them on pharmaceuticals for the rest of their lives. Cash cow. Like, well, wait a second. Don't you care about the people? Guess not. I don't think anybody. I don't know how many people care anymore. I think there's still people out there who care. It's just probably you know what? Probably the majority cares. But you know what, though? Do you care enough to do anything, even for yourself? I mean, I don't know about others, but I mean, I have to care enough to take care of myself. Otherwise, I won't. All right, keep blending it. I'm not even sure if you guys can hear me. There we go. I got to stop it periodically so everything gets settled to the bottom. And we'll go one more time, and then I think it should be good. You got the numbers. All right, it's almost ready. Now we're going to start getting the jars ready. One of them for me drinking, and one for sealing it for later. Okay, we're going to cut these with a little hydrogen water. Again, I'm just doing the same thing every single day, guys. I just do it so that you guys can see how I do it. I don't really know honestly, I'm starting to wonder if people are really enjoying this, but I hope so. Or at least they're finding it helpful more than anything. Okay, so see, you just put a little bit of water, little hydrogen water that's extremely clean. Let's just blend it one more time. I think that's good enough. I'll see when I pour. I can always tell if it's all chunky or if it's ready to roll. And when I open this thing, it's clearly as full as it can be. Like literally perfect. If I put any more in there, it'll flow over. Oh yeah, look how creamy that is. I love that. Looks great. That's because of the walnuts. And we'll fill that one up. And we don't put anything in there. This one, we're going to put something in here. So we're going to go only to half. Okay. We're going to seal this one jar. Why? Because I want to lock in the freshness. That's why. I want all the phytonutrients. I want all the good stuff to stay fresh. So I'm going to seal it with my handy dandy jar sealer, which I think I'm getting a little better at using. Have I perfected it yet? I wouldn't say so. Again, we have barely anybody in the room, so nobody's going to care. But while that's sealing, let's put the magic ingredients for the few, the proud. Okay, let's see here. Seeking Amin says, I love these live chats. Unfortunately, I have to go, but I did smash the like. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Wow, that was nice, Seeking. All right, see, that's why I get it. It's Monday. Everybody, we all have to work. I got to go soon too, actually. This is my routine. Vitamin D3 and K2. We're going to put, I've been doing almost 4 drops, but today, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with 5 again today. I went with 5 yesterday. Just going to go with a little extra today, which is about 5,000 IUs, just a tad more. Boron. I won't even go into all the benefits because I think you guys have heard me repeat them every single day. And let's see how much I can get out of this thing. I think it's pretty much empty. Okay, yeah, I pretty much used it all. Oh no! 1 drop didn't get in there. Crap. See what it tastes like. Tastes like minerals. Ooh, strong minerals. Okay, that's enough. Let's see if it's seal or didn't seal. It's going to break my heart if it didn't. Hallelujah, it did. Thank you. Thank you, God. Well, pretty much nobody's here anymore. You know what? I shouldn't even turn on my camera. I should just save my battery on my phone. But Seeking and Being liked it. There was 1 person who liked it. And there is 5 thumbs up, so I guess 5 people liked it. All right, see, now it's all mixed in there. I'm telling you, nobody cares, nobody knows. This smoothie is so important because it is the multivitamin. It is the multivitamin. I mean, that's the whole point of the smoothie, other than it, yeah, it happens to be breakfast, happens to have a lot of vegetables, happens to have a lot of fiber, happens to have minerals, it happens to have everything, basically, guys. More protein, more nutrients, more fiber, more minerals. I mean, it's no wonder. I mean, I didn't know if it would work. And of course, I combine this with the hydrogen gas inhalation, which I'm about to go do. And you know what? Does it take an expert? I literally had a Harvard doctor contact me. But when people hear that they have to take 20 minutes and make smoothies every morning and drink hydrogen water, everybody wants a silver bullet. Boy, that is good today. I didn't put much ginger in there. I was going to share the smoothie with someone, and I didn't think they want the strong gingery taste. Well, I'm going to let you guys go since I have learned a lot, says Preciosita. Well, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you so much. She says, Northern Yeti, I don't drink soda. I finally answered. Well, that's what I was wondering. It's, in my opinion, pure poison. I don't drink soda either. Way too much sugar. Mess up your pancreas. All right, well, quite delicious, guys. Since there's pretty much nobody in here, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. I used to drink beer, gave that up too. You know, Northern Yeti, I used to drink a lot of beer too. And I gave that up too. Enjoy your breakfast, says Northern Yeti. I will. And I'm glad you gave up the beer, brother. Beer is one of the worst alcohols, apparently. I did not know until I researched it. And it's too bad because it tastes so good. But you know, with time, I just don't really want it as much anymore. But see, good job. You stepped it up, right? You're like, I want to improve. I want to be better. I want to do better. That's my point. And that goes for every aspect in life. Very delicious. I like the walnuts. Same here. Desire for most bad stuff is gone. There you go, Northern Yeti. You know what? I don't know if you had this experience. Hydrogen helped me with that. I don't know what it's doing to me, but I noticed that a lot of things that I desired, I have more control. And I don't know what it's, why it's doing that. But it's a very positive. All right. Well, thanks again for watching, guys. I'm gonna go enjoy breakfast because I gotta get to work real soon. And this was a little video in the morning for you guys, just to show you, as usual, the morning routine. Believe it or not, some people don't believe that I actually follow my own routines. I'm like, are you guys crazy? I know there's a lot of people out there who don't. I remember this one guy was claiming to be he was actually claiming to be like a health nut, but also a breatharian. And then he was caught on camera constantly going to McDonald's. And I was like, why would you do that? But who knows? I guess maybe a lot of attention. But no, I do this every morning. It's one of the reasons I started doing these live videos so you guys could watch it, but not really to prove it or anything. But this is what I do, and it feels great. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the next one. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Thanks for all the support, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. To your health, well-being, tastes great also. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.